My name is Erin. I am 18, I am non-binary and use they them pronouns. I'm involved in Inspire Highland because I have found that it's helped me to give me a voice and to campaign when I didn't imagine I would be able to do that at my age. The way the groups work within Inspire Highland and the group in general is that it's basically all of us, young people. We decide everything, we decide what we want to do, how we're going to do it, and we have our worker there to just kind of facilitate the meetings and help us out a little bit. Well, the group does deal with like specific topics and topics that are, I guess, kind of difficult to talk about, and it is important that we feel safe to be able to talk about our own experiences, and we know that we're not going to be judged by the other people within the groups and by the workers. Collective action helps my own social action because it just means that there are more people coming out and speaking out against or like for whatever it is that you're speaking out for. And yeah, I mean, I think it just helps because, you know, even though one person's voice does matter, it is a lot easier to be listened to when there's multiple voices speaking for the same thing. I think that the workers also provide some kind of emotional support for a lot of us because, you know, just within the whole group in general and within the young people, we just feel able to speak out about our experiences and just feel safe to do that. And for me, just talking to somebody really helps. Some of the main barriers, you know, within both mental health and like LGBTQ plus activism are just the stigma around both of them, because people, they still don't want to support people with mental health issues, they still don't want to support people who are LGBT plus. There are certain things even within these groups that are more accepted than other parts of these groups. For example, within mental health there is more acceptance for depression and anxiety, but then when it comes to things like OCD and schizophrenia there's not. And within the LGBT community, there's a lot of acceptance now for gay people, but still not so much for trans people, non-binary people, and bi and pan people. The Inspire Highland LGBT group specifically was kind of set up because, you know, there is a lot of us within the group that are LGBTQ plus. And there's a lot of us, like, we're in all these other different groups, such as the mental health group or the autism group. And, you know, I just felt like it's another part of us that was important to speak out for. Because, you know, we all have all these different, like, additional support needs and stuff. But we also have our LGBT identity. We've just got so many identities. And I think that, you know, the LGBT group is important to represent those identities. I think a main barrier to my social activism has kind of been where I live for so many reasons. It's, you know, like the attitudes towards things like mental health and being LGBT and the services just to get help for these things. They're not good up here in the Highlands, and I think that's been a massive barrier to my social activism. Like, all the charities and stuff that focus on these things and have groups for people to speak out, they're all in the Central Belt. You know, you can go out and do all of this social activism, but, you know, when you've got people yelling stuff, it's not always nice, I guess. Like, this is why we need social action, but it's not really nice to have people saying mean stuff to you all the time. Yeah, I think that is a big barrier. Like, I'm pretty good with that sort of stuff. Like, it doesn't get to me too much, but I know people that it does get to them, you know, and that's gonna put them off coming out and being socially active. I have had a lot of things said to me, like on the streets and stuff, and it's just like did you really need to? But I think it can be a positive thing as well, because, you know, I'm showing other young people who may be a bit nervous to, I guess, be visible in themselves, that it's okay to be visible. You know, you don't have to hide yourself. Unless there is a real safety issue where you do have to hide yourself, then you know you don't have to hide yourself. If you want to be out and proud, then be out and proud.